This brings me to our last lesson of the week, and that is the second part of our Rational Numbers Unit Study Guide. Our objective is to add and subtract on the number line, as well as complete situations to make quantities of 0. So in looking at our study guide, you're going to see questions that look like this, and these two up here. So we're going to do an example together. Adding and subtracting on the number line, you're going to see these two arrows. Notice where the first arrow starts. It starts right at 0. Okay, the arrow that starts at 0 is the arrow that we are going to use first. Okay, so here it would be this bottom arrow. So if we were writing an equation, I'm going to look at where this first arrow that's coming from 0 goes all the way to 2. So that means the first number in my equation is going to be 2. And then I'm going to see the arrow that comes second, see that it starts at 2 and then it goes all the way to 4. So what's happening in this number line is that these values are increasing towards the positive numbers. So it shows us that we are adding. So this number 2, and then we are adding another 2, and then our answer ends at the number 4. So this shows 2 plus another 2 equals 4. Our second number line, okay, our arrow that comes from 0 is the first number. So our first number is 3. And it's moving in a positive direction, positive 3. But then this arrow goes backwards. So when it goes more negative, it's showing subtraction. And how many did it subtract? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this shows 3 minus 5. And what number does this arrow end at? It ends at -2. 3 minus 5, or going backwards 5, equals -2. Now there's another way you can write this. You could also write this as 3 plus adding 5 negatives. So because this arrow is going in the negative direction, you could also call it adding 5 negatives. But you can see it still ends at -2. So there's two ways you could write the second one. All right, the second part of today's activity is to complete the following situation to make the quantities combine to make 0. So let's say we have a situation where Sally makes $7 at the lemonade stand. So she's working the lemonade stand, she makes $7. So how would we make this situation go back down to 0? So we want to make the quantities combine to make 0. What could happen for Sally to go back down to 0? So right now she has $7. What would have to happen is that she somehow loses $7. So Sally makes $7 at the lemonade stand. Let's say, but she lost $7 on her way home. Sad, sometimes it happens. So she makes $7 at the lemonade stand, but then she lost it on her way home. So did anything really happen? Not really. The 7s kind of cancel each other out. By the way, this 7 represents a positive 7 because she's earning money, but she lost $7. That represents a -7. So if we were even to add positive 7 plus -7, it would still end at 0. If I were to write this in an equation, I could write it as 7 plus a -7 equals 0, or I could do 7 minus 7, which also equals 0. She had $7, she lost $7, therefore she has $0.